The live stream will be starting soon. The live stream will be starting soon. The live stream will be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ta-da! The live stream has started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Talk Back with the Blind Life. Rachel, are you here?
I'm here.
Awesome. Okay, let me get rid of this because I don't need to watch it. And thank you to everybody who is already in here in the live stream, and thank you to everybody watching this in the future. My name is Sam with The Blind Life. You guys probably already know that, but I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host, Rachel.
Hello, hello.
And this is our Talk Back, our monthly video podcast. I always feel like I have to explain it at the beginning here in case there are new people watching. This is something we do every month. We try to do every month. And we're doing a little bit different format this month. And we can talk about it. But normally we kind of go over some of the most frequently asked questions or the most common comments that I receive on my previous month's videos. And we go through and answer some of those. But we're not doing that today, are we, Rachel?
No, not today.
We're doing something a little different. There's a couple of topics that I wanted to talk about and to make it a true talk back. And I figured, you know what, instead of going over comments and questions, we would just kind of talk about these two different topics, and hopefully people in the chat can join in and jump into the conversation with us. And I think that will be good.
I agree.
And we'll see.
And you guys can let us know, like, will you miss the like comments from the previous videos, or is that kind of like not necessary? Because Sam and I were thinking that it seems like really what ends up happening is, yeah, we get through those, but we take a lot of the discussion from the chat within the live stream anyway. So, I mean, obviously, if Sam sees something that he really wants to talk about or thinks should be addressed or whatever that's in a comment of a video, then he'll do that. But maybe not. Yeah. That may not be the focus of the talkback.
Yes. And so let us know. But first things first, we always, in our talkback videos, we do a giveaway. And we need to announce the winners from last month's giveaway. What was it? May's talkback. We ran a contest and we need to announce the winners. And we have 2 winners. So Rachel has that information.
Yes, Sam ran them through the randomizer thing and sent them to me. So our first winner is Sarah Jane's Workshop. She said, I love a good mystery, because mystery was the code word last time.
That was the keyword, yes.
Yeah, the keyword. Thanks for another great video. I try to spread the word about this channel wherever I can. So thank you for that, Sarah Jane's Workshop. And please reach out to Sam at sam@theblindlife.net. That's his email. Shoot him an email, and you can get with him to give him your contact information.
Yes.
And then so you have 2 winners, right?
Yes, 2 winners this time.
So our second winner was KMB1181. That's KMB1181.
Rolls off the tongue.
Mystery. I just discovered your channel on YouTube and have already watched several of your videos. Great information you're sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, KMB 11 whatever it was.
1181. Yes. So thank you very much. And like I told Sarah Jane's Workshop, send an email to sam@theblindlife.net and give him your contact information. Are you going to tell them what they're winning, or is it just going to be surprised when it arrives in their mailbox? Okay, so it's really a mystery.
Mystery, yeah. When the UPS truck backs up and they get the forklift out and no, it's not that big. It will be a mystery. I was trying to look to see. I know that I need to learn more about StreamYard, but I know there's a way to put like a message on the screen. I was going to put my email on there, but it's pretty easy to find. You can also reach me through the website, theblindlife.net, through the contact form there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stay tuned till the end of the live stream today, where we will be announcing this month's giveaway and how you guys can enter. So I was just looking at comments. Looks like there's a lot of people in here. Welcome.
Yeah, a lot of people just saying hello. Yeah, I think we've got, how many do we have? I don't know. We've got quite a few. But we've got Daisy Lopez Monteroso, Gammy Rowe, Kevin Hawthorne, Deshaun Bush, Landon Van Meter, Seamus Jackson, Ty Rocky, and Harpreet Thin. So a lot of our regulars, which is awesome.
Yeah, several members I heard in there. So thank you guys. Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in the comments too, in the chat. I'm in the chat. Look at me, baby.
Wow. Yeah, you can't do that because then it'll just be quiet in the things.
I know.
You have to leave that to me. No one
like,
wants to just watch us stare at a screen.
I struggle to type out a message here without any typos. Nah, but awesome. Well, welcome, guys. So let's jump into it. So the two topics. Well, the first topic that I wanted to talk about is my video. I didn't even look to see how my video is doing today. My video that went out this morning, and
it has 1.6 thousand views.
Oh my gosh, just from today?
Yeah, 1,600 views.
That's awesome. Yes, so it was my thoughts on the newest announcement from Apple. So if you're not aware, and look at me, I'm doing two things at once here.
Not well.
Not well, but I'm doing it. Yeah, okay. I didn't want to bring it up if like something happened and the video didn't go out today. But yes, okay, great. So not that I didn't believe you, but you have been known to lie to me before. No, but Apple just had their WWDC, which is their worldwide developer conference. It's their annual conference where they announce all the newest Apple stuff for the upcoming year. And this was a big one because they announced some big changes in software, Apple software. Last week I had released a video talking about accessibility updates that were going to be announced and were also coming out this year. And all of those were pretty awesome. I was very, very happy to see all of those, including some accessibility things coming to the Apple Vision Pro, which I'm really excited to check out whenever those do come out. But then, so WWDC, they launched, or they announced all the new versions of Apple for all the different things. One of the big announcements was that they're going to this unified naming where everything is going to be 26. They've decided to just iOS 26, macOS 26. It's all going to be named basically corresponding to the year that it comes out. So everything is going to be 26 now. So we went from iOS 18 to iOS 26, quite a jump. But iOS 26 is going to be a big redesign for Apple's interface, iOS interface, the iPhone interface, and the iPad interface. That's another thing, is it has this new design that's going to be across all the platforms, and they're calling it liquid glass. And it's, in my opinion, and what I said in my video, it's terrible, guys. It's going to be terrible for low vision because they are going with this super transparent, see-through, semi-transparent, translucent, watery glass, frosted kind of design. And it's getting roasted by all the reviewers. Everybody is like, I mean, there, it is cool. There's some animations and stuff that are pretty cool, but across the board, I think a lot of people are like, this is not going to be great for visibility. It's going to make readability very difficult. So that was kind of my thoughts in my video, was like, this is going to be terrible for low vision, because these are all the things that we try to turn off on Apple. We turn off transparencies, we turn on high contrast mode. These are the things we do to make the device easier for us to see. And this is like the focus of their new theme design is transparent. So I wanted to kind of gather people's opinions. If you're in the chat, let me know what you think about this. If you have any concerns, throw them down in the chat.
Well, we've already, Seamus Jackson already commented, and he said that he already installed a developer beta one when it came out last week for iOS 26. He said, I don't mind the new liquid glass design. I kind of like it. I'm totally fine with the transparency. But I wonder, Seamus, how is your vision? Like, where are you at vision wise? Because I wonder if your vision is better than most on the channel, or about the same, or what.
Yeah.
I feel like, Sam, you would struggle with a
Oh,
transparent.
it would be hard. Yeah. And Seamus, also, if you don't mind, are you a VoiceOver user? Because I'm curious to see how VoiceOver is performing on the beta, because if VoiceOver is working, I'll download the beta right now and do it. Watch me. Say I won't. I'll do it. But I'm afraid VoiceOver isn't going to work, because I've had that happen before, and I rely so much on VoiceOver that I would be stuck without it. So if VoiceOver is working, let me know. And yeah, what is your vision level? Because for most of us, transparent notification panel, transparent the quick panel page. I'm drawing a blank on the name of all these things, but from what I've seen, the pictures and stuff, it's going to be really, really difficult, especially if you have a busy background. Now, if you have a solid color background, like a black, it might not be as bad, but the busy, colorful background is going to cause issues with that transparent.
Okay, so let me see. Solrak M7 says, it doesn't bother me because I cannot see anyways, but you can actually make the screen look better with different functions. T said it can be disabled, I think.
Well, that's kind of the question I also had is, and I talked about this in my video, is you can turn off transparencies, but I saw another reviewer do that, and it was very funny. He's like, there's this new feature where you can, in accessibility, where you can turn off transparencies, and I'm like, brother, that's not new. We've had it for years and years and years. It's new to you, but it's not new. But he turned off transparencies, and it still didn't turn them all the way off like it does now currently on 18. So I'm curious if you turn on high contrast, if that helps also.
Seamus said that his vision is okay. I can see out of the corner of my left eye. I don't usually use visual cues though, mainly audible, such as VoiceOver. So okay. I guess that means VoiceOver is working okay with it.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I'll see. I'm nervous to try it, especially with a trip coming up next month. I don't want to be stuck.
Sam, you may be in the minority. We've got 3 people in here so far that have used it and don't mind it. Daisy also said, I like the liquid glass display. I got the beta running as well. For whatever reason, my eyes just tend to focus better with the liquid glass display. My vision is at 2500.
Okay. Oh, okay, good. Well, like I said, I haven't tried it myself, so this is all speculation. This is all just based on the videos I saw from the conference and other people showing it. One thing I would also be curious about, is I know that people have said the beta is kind of struggles a little bit on battery life. The battery life isn't the greatest right now on the beta, which that will be improved. They also said that a lot of devices running the betas tend to run a little warm, like it's super processing. And that's something I wondered about because, I've got an Android background and we've had these crazy animations and 3D wallpapers. We've had those for, 15 years now on Android. So the problem with running those is they are battery hogs, because, every time you move your phone, this 3D wallpaper is processing graphically, and it's wearing down the battery. So I'd be curious to know how well this iOS 26 works with not only that 3D back wallpaper that they have now, but every time you pull down the notification panel, you're getting these really cool liquid effects with that transparent background, with these specular highlight effects. And I have to think that doing that all day long, it's really going to, the processor's working extra hard. It's going to wear down the battery.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing a game, which
Yeah.
definitely wears down a battery. Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear about that. Hold on just a second. Let me.
Sure. And thank you guys for your input. This is, like I said, I don't know much about it yet, so I'm curious.
Yeah. Kind of along those lines. Hold on, let me go back to it. Peter Baker said, I'm into VR and have the MetaQuest 3. I downloaded the latest update today and checked accessibility and was very pleased.
Oh, good.
And also said, it now has text-to-speech, something which is most welcome after so long. You just select text-to-speech and accessibility and download a package, and it's very good.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I have, but I did a review of the MetaQuest 2, I believe. It was either 2 or 3. And my buddy let me borrow it, and he factory reset it for me, and I set it up. I got it up, put it on, and immediately I set my little boundary, and immediately the first menu that popped up, I was stuck. I tried to get close enough to it, and it just disappeared. And I was like, that's it. You fail, MetaQuest. You fail already. You're not accessible. And so the video never came out. I never even finished it.
Well, might have to revisit that now.
Yeah. I need to call up Zuckerberg. Send me one.
Going back to the iOS 26, Solrock M7 said so far it's slightly slower than iOS 18 with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So that means that it has to be a little faster on the new iPhones. It's just a keyboard with key MLIO. I don't know what that means.
I'm surprised it's working on your 11 Pro Max. I thought 12 was the oldest device that would support it. Huh. I tried to install it on the iPad OS 26. I tried to install that on the one at our iPad at work, which is only like 2 years old, and it said it wasn't compatible. It's like, you got to be kidding me. It's not that old.
Okay, let me go back up now and see. Should we jump on some other topics that have come up, Sam?
Well, I only have the other one.
Oh, no, I mean in the chat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We can answer questions and stuff.
Okay. So a couple people mentioned a new accessibility feature called head tracking, where you control your phone just by facial expressions, moving your head.
Okay. That's very much Apple Vision Pro or mobility, as definitely for mobility impairment, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Raha is wondering if you would recommend the Meta glasses.
Yeah, I do. I recommend them for a couple of reasons. Price is number one. It's I don't know, not necessarily affordable, but it's obtainable, much more than some of these other assistive technology devices that are crazy expensive. And the fact that you can potentially use insurance to get them for sometimes free. I recommend them for that reason. I recommend them for their ease of use. It is a much steeper or much shallower learning curve when it comes to the glasses. They help in a lot of different situations. The AI isn't bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad.
And let's clarify. You're talking about Meta Ray-Bans, not the Meta Quest, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's what he said. Meta Ray-Bans, right?
I just said Meta. I didn't say.
Oh,
I didn't clarify because that's all they said. So.
okay. If it's the Ray-Bans, then yes. The Meta Quest, if it's accessible, if it's truly accessible, the Meta Quest 3, yeah. If it works for you, I mean, it's a visual device. So depending on how bad your eyes are, it might not work for you that well.
Okay. Ty Rocky said, not related to vision, but I'm looking forward to hold assist. When your phone detects hold music, it will ask if you want to use hold assist and ring when someone answers. You had mentioned that to me, hadn't you, Tim?
Yeah. As kind of a screw you to the telemarketer people. Put you on hold, buddy. You got away from me. Yeah, I was wondering when we were talking about it. That's what I said. I wonder how many of these telemarketers are gonna be like, yeah, I'm not holding, just hang up.
Igor Bastos is wondering, is there something similar to spoken content for Android? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, spoken content. It's for Android. It's called Select to Speak, and it's in the installed apps. So if you go into accessibility, usually down towards the bottom, there's a section called Installed Apps. Number one, make sure your Android accessibility suite is up to date, fully up to date. So you can do that just by going into Google Play Store and search for accessibility, and the Android accessibility suite. Make sure that's up to date. But then, yeah, it's in installed apps, and it should be in there. You may have to go in and download it, but it's called Select to Speak, and I've got it on mine. Got it running on my Samsung here. So a couple different ways to trigger it, just like the iPhone counterpart. But for me, I can tap the little guy here, and then if I just draw a box anywhere on the screen, nothing happens.
You pulled up email or something.
Yeah,
I think you.
I didn't hit the right button here.
I'm on gallery. Touch to view in 6:20.
Okay, so it just starts reading. So there's that. There's if right now I have the navigation buttons at the bottom just because I was working with a client and her phone has the navigation buttons, but I usually don't use those. So when you don't have the navigation buttons at the bottom, you do a 2-finger swipe up from the bottom, and then whatever you touch on the screen is read out loud to you. So it works very similar to the iPhone.
Jumping back a little bit, Daisy said everything from iPhone 11 upwards is supported by the iOS 26. iPhone 10 and below are no longer supported.
Okay. Good to know. I'm sure there's a list somewhere if anybody wants to know for sure.
And then Ricky May said, I would love a pair of Meta glasses, the Ray-Bans, but unfortunately they're $450 here in Canada. Which the thing is even though that's kind of pricey, that's so much less than almost every other wearable, right? Like most wearables are well over 1,000, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, 3,000.
The Chiodo, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, says, I have Stargarts and just got the Meta glasses. Game changer. I do wish the AI was better though.
Yes. The AI, it's just that it's kind of designed to be basic. You can get the information you want. You just have to keep asking different questions and follow-up questions and all that. So, but yeah, so real quick, I just learned this today. In fact, a little update about Meta smart glasses. What's the one thing that a lot of us have been asking for is the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses in a wraparound sports style. Well, I just learned that Meta is now partnering with Oakley, and they're coming out with a wraparound sports style. It's really going to be geared more towards people doing fitness, sports, cyclists, and things like that. but it's going to have the cameras going to be centrally located right above the bridge of the nose. I'm very excited about this. Hopefully it will, not be crazy expensive, and hopefully it'll have all the same AI functionality. I would assume it will, but they're supposed to be launched sometime this month, actually.
Cool.
Yeah. The guy, the Stargars guy, was like, "Crap! I just bought these. Maybe you can return them."
Well, or maybe he doesn't want the wraparounds too.
Yeah, maybe.
Not everyone has the same. Well, as you know, everybody wants different stuff.
Yeah.
Landon Van Meter said, "What was the update to RP that Sam hinted at the last talkback?" But I don't think that's happened yet, right?
Update to RP.
Yeah. You don't even know what we're talking about.
No,
I
I
know
don't.
I know what he's talking about, but I'm not gonna.
Whisper it to me.
I can't whisper it to you. I was gonna say I'll text it to you, but then you would play the
Yeah,
text and I would be able to
voice
hear it anyway.
Yeah.
It's still not been fully released yet.
Okay.
Um,
I'm clueless to some things.
yeah, I mean, you would know what I was talking about, what it was immediately, but Grow Film said, "My wife is blind and I watch all your vids to help make the world more accessible to her. I buy all the tech. I research like a madman. So I'm grateful to you, my friend. Mahalo from Hawaii."
Awesome. Thank you very much. We're going to crash on your couch if we ever come to Hawaii.
Ahmad said, "Do you have any thoughts on the AI glasses that Google showed off with all of the Gemini Live features?"
Yeah, I think they're fantastic, man. That's really exciting what they could do. Where just kind of glancing around and they're like, "Hey, do you remember where I put my keys?" And they're like, "Yeah, I saw them on the bookshelf back in the other room." It's like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Gemini's pretty cool. I guess I'd say
Are
something
they
else.
out? Are they out yet?
The glasses, I'm not sure. I don't know if they've fully been released. They were on a kind of the WWDC. Google was announcing them. I don't know if they're officially out though. Gemini's awesome. Rachel's got it on her Pixel. I don't have the full-fledged Gemini on my Samsung yet. But it's pretty good. It's one of the best AIs out, I think.
I'm very slow to adopt the AI, so I don't fully utilize the Gemini on my phone.
Yeah. So updates, speaking of smart glasses, the most recent update I've heard from Apple's they've been talking about smart glasses for a while now. They have fast-tracked their with the popularity of Meta and all these others, they have fast-tracked their development of their smart glasses, but it's still not projected till the end of 2026. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for that.
This isn't something I don't think, Sam, that you know about, but I figured I would mention it because maybe someone else in the chat does. But the Blind Man 21 was asking, how does everyone feel about the personal workout buddy with Watch OS 26? Which you haven't looked at that at all yet, have you?
Oh,
Yeah. So if anyone else has experience with it, hop
But
into the chat.
I know what they're talking about because I saw a little demo video on the conference that it's like an AI voice will be like, "Go on, you've got it, keep going." Like it encourages you along during your workout, and it's supposed to be very natural. I mean, I don't know, the little demo they showed, it didn't sound supernatural. It definitely still sounded like an AI voice, but probably helpful, I'm sure.
Lewis said, "Hello, Sam. I'd like to see a new cane review. Greetings from California." So
Hello, Lewis. Thank you.
Definitely.
Well, when a new cane comes out, I will definitely do that.
Ty Rocky said, "If you tell the Meta glasses to always remember that you are blind, it will give more detailed descriptions." Which that's a good tip.
I saw a TikTok, actually, I think it was yesterday. somebody was talking about that, where they did that with Siri and the Amazon Echo, the A lady. And the guy said, "Hey Siri, I'm blind." And Siri's like, "I don't know how to help with that." And then he said the same thing to the Amazon Echo, and the A lady was like, "Well, thank you for telling me. I will definitely keep that in mind." Blah 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 blah. It was just very helpful. Siri's like, "What do you want from me? I don't know.
I'm no miracle worker.
Yeah. Sorry about your luck, buddy." I don't
Tim's
know why
Corner
she's a New Yorker.
Tim's Corner said Oakleys are supposed to launch on the 20th.
Yes, June 20th. Yeah, that's what I'd heard as well. I'm excited. I hope they're not like super sports, the brightly colored and all that. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Explorers Lobby was asking, where is the camera on the existing Meta glasses?
It is, I believe, it's on the left side temple, like right on the upper left corner. There's an LED light on the upper right, and the camera is on the upper left. Or I might have that backwards, but it's in the upper corner of one of the sides, on the front, but just in the upper corner.
Sorry, I had to take care of some business. Solrak is asking if there's a way to make Google Gemini faster like ChatGPT because it's slow.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs yet of Gemini. I haven't played around with it much.
And he also is talking about making ringtones on iOS 26 that you can do it without GarageBand now. But you have to have a 30-second. It has to be 30 seconds because it won't clip it for you.
Okay. So I just have to say it. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it always cracks me up when these things get announced. And I kind of mentioned it in my video where this whole liquid glass, or this glass transparent theming, Windows Vista did it way back in like 2009. They tried it, the Arrow theme, I think is what it was called, and very quickly discovered that it wasn't great, and so they got away from it. And then, just like I said, the 3D wallpaper. This is a lot of this stuff. Apple is very, very popular of taking stuff that's already been done before and putting their own little spin on it
and pretending like it's brand new.
Yeah, but like that, being able to make ringtones. When I first got my iPhone, which was the iPhone 10, my very first one, I was like, wait a minute, I can't just take a regular song and turn it into a ringtone. I can do that on Android. Why can't I do it on iPhone?
I mean, you've been doing that on Android since forever.
Yeah, since like the Galaxy 2.
I'm like practically a flip phone.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do it when Android first was launched. And I did it on my iPhone, but I had to do that. I had to like use GarageBand and like put it on my computer and do something on my computer, and then put it back on the phone. It was quite a headache.
Yeah. Harpreet is asking your opinion on the Shure SM7B mic.
Mm-hmm.
And saying it's a $500 mic. Do you think it would improve my voice on stream?
It definitely would. I mean, it is the most popular streaming mic, podcasting mic. I think, and I've watched plenty of videos that agree that it is way overpriced. You can get something that's still going to sound great for much, much less. I wouldn't spend that much money on it, honestly. This mic that I use, I think, is like $80, and it looks very similar. It looks almost the same as the Shure, and I think it sounds great. Do a little bit of post-processing. If you're using OBS, then process a little bit in OBS, and I think you're going to be great. I would not spend that much money on it.
Sorry, the Chiodo said, being somebody who works with AI on a regular basis, I'm here to tell you that Siri rides the short bus.
She does, man.
I shouldn't laugh at that, but
I don't know.
Tony
Is Bing?
Martin, sorry. Tony Martin is asking the age-old question, what's better for us, Apple or Android?
Wow, that's a loaded question, Tony.
And the
Um,
answer is it depends.
Yeah, there is no best, and people yell at me for saying that, but like I said, here's my iPhone, here's my Android phone. I'm working with a PC right now, a Windows computer, but my Mac is over there. I use all of these things. I'm proficient in all of these things, so I consider myself a little bit of an expert on the matter. The accessibility, they all have pretty much the same accessibility. Some things are doing some things better than the other things, but they all have equivalent accessibility. So I tell people to look at the outside factors. What's your budget? What kind of system are you already working with? If you're on a Mac, then get an iPhone because it's going to work better with a Mac. If you're on a Windows computer, an Android works better with Windows. If you can't afford $1,500 for an iPhone 16, then maybe a couple $100 on an Android phone. You're really going to be you spend the time to learn the system and practice. You're going to be proficient in whatever you get and whatever you use.
Yeah.
Now, I will say the caveat to that is that if you are low vision and need visual enhancements like large print, high contrast, I always recommend Android because Android's customizable. You can make these giant, like if you look at mine, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I've got a giant clock on here. I've got, yeah, you can see it. I've got giant icons, and I don't even have the best wallpaper right now, but you can't do that on iPhones. So, but if you need voice, if you're relying more on the screen reader, then Apple's voiceover is still better than TalkBack.
Although TalkBack has come a long way, right?
Oh yeah, TalkBack's great. And
it used to kind of suck.
Yeah. They've updated it a ton. Even recently, they updated a lot of the gestures are the same. You control TalkBack very, very similarly to VoiceOver. So, yeah. So like I said, there's lots of different factors. There is no best anything for blind people, despite what some people would like to tell you.
A couple things. Someone had asked something about Gemini being slow, and Ahmad said you may want to change your Gemini mode. For example, Gemini 2.0 Flash would be your fastest option. So that's a tip for, I can't remember who asked, but someone mentioned something about that. Yeah. And Lewis, I'm sorry, they said, have you seen the new cane to review? Is there a cane called the new cane? Because I did read your chat and I did say that you wanted a new cane review, but I don't know if you're talking about a specific cane. So specify in the chat because I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's not important. Go ahead.
Okay. Peter Baker said, my wife who is blind uses a screen reader on her Android phone called Synaptic. It's very easy to use and customizable with clear, bold text.
Yes, Synaptic. You can get it through IREAT. Out in Oregon, they're a distributor for Synaptic. Yeah, it's not bad.
R. McHale said, hi, do you know of an email reading app for Android?
Email reading app? Not for Android. There's something called Mailbird that I did a video about, but I did a video about the computer app or, program version of it. It may be on Android. But like I said, look at using Select to Speak, which is just part of the Android accessibility. If you don't need a full-blown screen reader, like if you don't want to use TalkBack, because TalkBack will read out your emails, but it'll read everything out, then look at using Select to Speak. And because you just draw a little box over the section of text that you want read out loud, and it reads it out loud to you. So it's kind of like a sometimes screen reader. It's for those of us that are in between, don't need a full screen reader, but we do want some things read out loud. And you can Google or you can search on YouTube Select to Speak Android, or something like that. And I'm sure there's videos. I've got videos about it.
Hawaiian 50 is just mentioning that they have the no jab cane and that they work that works perfectly, which you have a no jab cane, don't you, Sam?
Yep. Yeah.
Sam.
Excuse me. You couldn't hear that, could you?
Turn your head away from the mic at least.
Cover up the mic.
Seriously, that was gross.
Good empanadas.
Joker Alice is here, and she said,
Hey.
I keep telling people if I could have a hybrid phone between Android and iOS, I think it would be the best world.
Yes. Yeah. Or a computer that's between Windows and Mac. Because there's some things I love about Mac, and there's some things I love about Windows, and some things I'm just like, oh, why can't you be like the other guy?
Harpreet, Ricky was saying that she uses the fine mic that Sam reviewed a while back. It's on his Amazon store. So that's an option as well.
Yeah, which is, I think what this one is, the Fine.
Sam,
Fine.
we are not good about marketing your stuff at all. Like, I don't think, when's the last time you mentioned your Amazon store?
Yeah, I don't. I have an Amazon store, by the way, everybody.
Thanks, Ricky, for reminding us.
Yes, all the stuff I talk about on my channel usually finds its way into the Amazon shop. It's amazon.com/shop/theblindlife.
Yeah.
And I have a link in my video descriptions.
And the prices are just regular Amazon prices. It's not like Sam is selling the things.
No.
It's still just through Amazon. It's just if you purchase through his link, he gets like 2 cents. It's not.
Yeah.
It adds up if a lot of people do, but it's not like he's making a lot of money. But it doesn't make it any more expensive for the buyer. It's something that Amazon kicks over just for basically for Sam referring people to it. But probably time to. That's probably something to update. I don't know if you've been in there and updated that store recently.
I don't know. There's bats and stuff flying around in there. It's so old. No, they are affiliate links, so I do get a small commission, but it's more just to make it easy for you guys to find the stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't add stuff on there willy-nilly. He's not trying to his goal is not to be like making a bunch of money off of affiliate links. It's just if he's talking about a product and it's available on Amazon, then he tries to remember to put it in there so it's easier for people to find.
Yeah. And they're broken up into categories like lighting and productivity and kitchen stuff. And my shirts are on there. Speaking of Amazon, the fit for the day is the Karate Kid inspired Sweep the Cane, No Mercy. in the classic 80s colors, the yellow and the red.
Lewis asked for a folding cane review, which Sam has multiple folding cane reviews on his channel.
Yeah, I've done. I just recently did a video going over all the canes that Ambutech sells, ambutech.com sells, which lots of folding canes there. I've done all the new a werewolf gear canes, like the all-terrain cane and the urban explorer cane. I've done a couple telescopic canes, really cool titanium telescopic canes. I have a playlist all about canes on my YouTube channel. You can find most of those there.
So Ricky said that she can't buy directly through your Amazon shop because it will not send to Canada. It's had to look it up separately, which that's weird because I know that there are definitely international purchases made through it, right?
Well, once again, and I apologize, Ricky, because Rachel's very true, and I have not gone in there and kept up on any of this in a long time, but I should be on the Canadian version of Amazon, like Amazon.ca or whatever it is. My stuff should be on there. I've posted to that as well. I'm supposed to be on Canada, Germany, UK, Japan, I think, even Australia. I'm supposed to be in all those versions of Amazon, but it's something that I need to look into.
Yeah, here in a few months, I'm supposed to go part-time at my real job, and,
Real
because
time.
I work full-time. So, when that happens, my goal is to try to help Sam with some of his admin type stuff, and maybe that can be I don't know, the list is starting to get really long of all the stuff I'm supposed to help with, but maybe that can be like a once a month thing that we go in and clean up the Amazon shop, add new links, check to make sure everything's the way it should be or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Joker Alice was talking about Mike Stills had been using the Rode NT Mini USB microphone for a while now, and then said, "But I have been eyeing the last mic that Sam reviewed. I like the fact that you can clip it to your shirt."
Yes. That was a good one, man. I use that. I found out that I can, because the kit that I have has different, it can do USB type C, it can do lightning, it can clip into the receiver, can clip into a lot of different things. And I discovered that it clips into the side of my action camera, the DJI Osmo 4. And so I've been using that. If you saw my video reviewing the bag from Field'em, where you can put your phone into it, a lot of that was recorded on my DJI using that microphone. So it's really been really good for me and my content. Opened up a lot of possibilities.
Um, One thing I wanted to put in here, Brian Cooper had mentioned that being on SSDI, it's difficult to buy a lot of the devices, and someone mentioned, I don't know who it was, just asked, TaylorMade said, "Have you spoken to your local disability service office? They sometimes help with getting supplies." And I was going to say that too. It's very dependent on the state that you live in, but oftentimes, especially if you're either trying to go to school, trying to get a job, or trying to remain employed, they will help with getting devices if those devices could help you with your job. So, and some
Yeah.
states are maybe even more generous than that, that will help you get stuff that's just for quality of life. But I know Kentucky doesn't just for quality of life. It has to be for employment or for education.
Yeah. And then something else a lot of people don't mention is the VA. So if you're a veteran here in the States, they will purchase devices for you as well. Um, some of these national organizations offer grants throughout the year. Even one of our local, the Kentucky Council of the Blind in Louisville has a technology grant, and they will pay like 3/4 of the cost of a device, and you pick up 25% of it, and they pay the other 75% of it. So look at that kind of stuff. NFB, ACB, AFB, all of these have their own types of technology grants that they give out each year.
Sam, Tony Martin said, "I may have missed the video, but what happened with Washington?" Which you didn't
Oh,
do a video, but
no,
it
didn't
was,
do it.
yeah, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you're fine. Didn't do official video, but it went well. That's something I can talk about. So yeah, last week I was in DC for a congressional hearing. I was speaking at a congressional hearing to try and encourage Congress to not completely slash the funding for the uh, International Health. What is it? IH. NH. Oh Lord. NIH. National. Yes. National Institute of Health. So it since the 60s, there's been like 27 different categories for NIH, and vision was in its own separate category. But now this new budget stuff, they're looking at slashing funding and bringing everything down into just potentially 5 categories, from like 27 down to 5. And vision will be lumped in with brain and neurology. And so the fear for a lot of people is that it's going to kind of get lost in there, and funding won't be there for continuing funding for vision research and clinical trials and all this stuff. So I was going as a patient advocate to kind of share my experience growing up with vision loss and um, encouraging them to continue funding, that it's important to continue funding this, eye health and all of that. And it went well. We had a good turnout apparently. They said that it was a full house. I wasn't in front of Congress or anything like that. I kind of wished I were. I wanted to be in the big room, but no, it was just a small kind of meeting space. But it was a full. There was people standing in the back, so it was a full house, and it went well. We got a lot of positive questions and feedback. But it was weird. It was weird. I was telling Rachel, it was weird being in DC. Like we were in one of the buildings where all the congressmen have their offices, and that's where the event was. And so it was weird just walking around and be like, all these people, these are the people that are running the country, for good or for bad. These are the people that are running the country. And so it was interesting.
Yeah. And it probably won't be a video on it, right? Because it was a very quick turnaround. Like you were in and out in less than 24 hours and
Yeah.
obviously busy and obviously in places where you couldn't really
Right.
record and stuff. So
Yeah. I did not record. I think they recorded. And if I can get that information, maybe put out a post about it on my Facebook or something. But yeah,
yeah.
I made a couple TikToks because I got there a little early and I decided to walk to the White House. It's like I got some hours to kill. The White House is only a mile and a half away. I'm gonna go walk to the White House because I can't remember if I've ever seen it before. And I wasn't planning on doing this, so I was wearing the clothes I wore on the plane, which was jeans and a black T-shirt, and it was over 90 degrees that day in DC, so I was sweating, and I kept getting lost, and it was fun. I eventually got there, but and then I get there, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's the White House way over there. I had to ask somebody, is that the White House? They're like, yeah, that's the White House. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm glad I spent an hour walking in the heat for this.
So you weren't sure if you've actually seen it and you still haven't.
I still haven't seen it. No. Yep. Some
Ricky
British
May,
lady was like, "Yes, that's the White House."
yes, you dumb American.
Yes. Oh, the American education system is failing you. No, it's not that. Can you see the cane?
Ricky May, going back to the Amazon stuff, said she'll check and said, I wanted to buy some shirts to wear in New Orleans when I go there in August. And I was like, August? Aren't you going in July?
I'm going in July. Yeah, she's not going for the same thing I am. Yeah, we've talked about this in the members calls. Yeah. Well, she'll be there a little bit after us.
Yeah, so if anyone is going to NFB in July, Sam will be there.
I will be there. I'm going to be working at the IRI AT booth throughout the week, and then I'm also staying for the closing ceremonies through that final weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Daisy said, that's a funny blind moment. I'm surprised you didn't take one of your magnification devices to actually be able to see the White House. Yeah, Mr. Accessibility, why didn't you take a device?
I didn't plan on going. It was kind of a last minute decision, but you want to hear the really funny part is like I said, I was recording some TikToks and stuff while I was out there. And so I recorded one in selfie mode while I was standing there. The White House was on one side and the Washington Monument was on the other side, but they're both like super far away. So I'm like holding the phone up, recording myself talking. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's the White House over there, but I'm not really sure. And then I spin around and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the Washington Monument because, what other tall spire looking thing is downtown Washington? Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Same with the blind life. And then later on in the day, when I went to go post that, I watched it and realized that I didn't have the selfie camera turned on. I had the back facing camera turned on. So I'm talking about, yeah, that's the White House. Meanwhile, it's pointing at the Washington Monument, and I turn around and then now it's looking at the White House, and I'm like, and that's the Washington Monument. So talk about a blind moment. I didn't know. It was too bright out there. I couldn't see the screen at all.
Deborah Caldbeck said, "Have you heard about Elon Musk's Tesla tablet yet? There's videos on YouTube."
Oh Lord, no. Tesla tablet.
I hadn't even heard of it, so I didn't know it existed.
Is it going to fix blindness? One pill and you're good. Or probably not a tablet, like a pill tablet. Probably like a. That's immediately what I thought of, a tablet, like a Alka-Seltzer or something.
Did you really think he was talking about a pill?
Yes, I was thinking like some kind of kooky medicine that Elon
Like an
come up with.
iPad tablet.
No, I realize that now. Well, thank you, everybody. It was great talking to you. We're signing off now. Okay, we can move on now. We can move on.
Sorry, that was really funny.
No, but I'll have to look into that.
Ricky says you need to post that video anyway.
I'm going to. I totally am. Yeah.
Luis asks how much the See Me cane costs. Do you know the See Me cane?
I know back when he first launched, I think they were like $125. I don't know what they are currently. I saw him at a conference in March, and he was saying that he's working on version 2. And he's like, I'm gonna get you one. I'll send you one when it's ready. And I haven't heard from him since. So we'll see. I don't know what the status of that is.
You'll probably see him at NFB, don't you think?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. Yes, Joker Alice. Sam, we announced the winners of the last giveaway at the beginning of the video. You are not a winner, I'm very sorry to say.
Wah, wah, wah. Sorry.
Wah, wah, wah.
Better luck next time.
But there'll be a giveaway at the end of this one, right?
Yeah.
And we're approaching an hour, so we'll probably get close to wrapping it up soon. So if anyone has any burning questions.
Yeah, actually, let me because there was something else I wanted to talk about. So you guys, while you're thinking of your final questions, I'm gonna throw out another topic. So this came up recently. Saw this on Facebook. Somebody was talking about going down to Florida to see the attractions, and this is something that Rachel and I had talked about before, and I think I once forever ago made a video about this topic, but I wanted to kind of talk about it. So the person was saying that their father was inviting them down to Florida to see probably Disney World or something. And in the Facebook post, they were basically saying, why? What is the point? I'm blind. I can't see these things. Why would I do that? What's the point? And kind of wondering what other people's thoughts are on that topic of what's the point of doing this when you can't see it. And it reminded me of, this, Rachel and I had talked about this before, because way back then we had talked about it. We had kids that were in sporting events, and, my daughter was in theater. My son was in lacrosse and football when he was younger. Marching band. Yeah. And so I would go to these things knowing full well I wasn't going to be able to see anything. I guess marching band and theater, at least I could listen to it and enjoy it that way. But, and our philosophy was always that it didn't matter. It didn't matter that I couldn't see it, because I'm not going for myself. I'm going for the other person, right? I'm showing up for them. It's more important to them that I show up for their event. Now, once again, this was geared towards kids, and it's important for their parents to show up for their events and their sporting events and that sort of thing. It didn't matter that I couldn't see it. It was important. So I kind of wanted to throw that. I figured that might be a good conversation to have also, and see what other people thought. I can kind of understand if you have to pay for something. Like, I'm not a concert. I'm not a music person in general. People are always surprised to hear that for some reason. They're like, what, you don't like music? I'm like, fine, but I'm just not a music person really. So, and that's another reason why I don't go to concerts, is because you have to pay a lot of money, and then I'm just going to sit there. I can't see it. And since music isn't really my thing, I'm not going to enjoy sitting there listening to it that much either. So I kind of feel that way about concerts. But curious what other people think.
Yeah, so Joker Alice says the point is to spend time with family. Plus, you can still enjoy the attractions. And Taylor Made said bonding time is so important. Brian Cooper said family is first. Joker Alice said again, I plan to go Universal at some point. I also have a nephew who's still little, so I would go to Disney for him. And yeah, and not only that, I mean, you think of like Sam this September. So this September, Sam is going to be speaking in Iceland, which
Mhm.
is really exciting. So I'm going also because I want to see Iceland. Seeing the Northern Lights is something that I wanted to experience for a very long time. So everybody, cross your fingers that we have good clear weather so we can see the Northern Lights while we're there. But we're also going to Scotland because Sam has always been interested in Scotland and seeing Scotland and whatever. And so we're going to go. So yeah, we are trying to tailor our trip in a way that it's not viewing things from a distance that he's just not going to be able to experience at all. And we're balancing that with things that I would like to do as well. But you know, you're still going to go because
Yeah.
it's still going to be an experience, even though you're not taking in everything visually.
Yeah, because, it's not just visual, especially because we're going to be doing a tour through the Highlands, because I've always wanted to see the Highlands. And a lot of those, watching videos and stuff, you're back looking at this big vista. And I know I'm not going to be able to see it very well. I am definitely going to take some kind of wearable device, though, so that I can try to see it. I am definitely doing that. I'm not flying all the way over there and not taking something. But I know that, it's not just a visual thing. It's also, you're going to hear the sounds of the birds and the wind, and you're going to feel, smell the salt air from the ocean, and you're going to hear the ocean. And like there's one place, I don't think we're doing this, but one of the popular sites is to see that steam engine, the Jacobite steam engine that was in Harry Potter, going over the bridge. And there and again, I might not be able to see it very well, but I can hear it. I can hear the choo choo and the burst of steam and all that. So it's going to be an experience, not just a visual experience. And then as far as like the amusement park stuff, I say absolutely, because that's not just a visual thing. You're riding the rides, you can touch the things, you can,
Eat the
like
food.
yeah, eat the food, smell the smells, hear the music and all that. And especially like Universal Studios, we went to Harry Potter World and we went through Diagon Alley, and you can touch the walls and you can, the architecture and everything. Can be a very tactile thing. So I say absolutely do that.
Some more comments on that. Solrak said, even though I cannot see, I went to see the Blue Angels. Just hearing them was still exciting.
Oh yeah. And then hearing the crowd react could be fun. That's like we go to the horse race. We have a very popular horse racing track here called Keeneland, and they do 2 meets a year. And I enjoy going there because it's exciting. The crowd screaming. I can't see the horses, unless I'm using a wearable. I can't see the horses going around, but the crowd screaming, everybody cheering. And then when you're down close to the track, you can feel the ground rumbling as those horses come around. So it's a multi-sensory experience.
Yeah, Ricky May said you can still hear, you can still smell. I say the same thing about people who don't want to travel on dialysis because they think they can't. You can still do it if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Taylor Made said, I fell in love with baseball for a minute because it was slow enough for someone to explain the entire game, what in real time you see, where it felt like I was getting a personalized audio description.
And now they have the device. I saw it. It's at CSUN. They have the device that has it can be set up for baseball or basketball or hockey or something or soccer, and you can feel the vibration of, like, when somebody hits or when the pitcher throws the ball, you can feel the vibration of the ball going, and then when the batter hits the ball, you can feel the vibration of the ball going wherever it goes. and you can feel people running around. It's crazy. It's got like a rubber membrane on top, and you can feel the action. Super cool.
And then Brian Cooper said, Iceland, snow, yuck. There will not be snow in Iceland when we're there.
Nah, it's going to be cold, but it won't be snowy.
And Landon Van Meter said that Disney has audio description available at parks as well.
Yeah.
And Farming Blind with Duck said, and you can't see the roller coaster to scare the crap out of you.
That's right.
Does that make it more scary or less scary, though, really? Like, you have no idea what's coming, and then all of a sudden you just get jerked.
That's true.
Yeah, Connie DeBerger just said, we recently attended our grandson's high school graduation. You're missing a word there, but I don't know if you meant my husband maybe wore his bioptic to see better. But even without it, he would want to be there to celebrate with the family.
Yeah, it's important. That's those are those life moments that you don't want to miss just because you can't see it. When my daughter graduated, when Skylar graduated, I wore a wearable. I wore like the Iris Vision, I think is what I had. And it was funny because I would take it off and I'd see people standing near me, like staring at me, like, probably thinking, why is this guy playing a video game in the middle of the graduation? But it's like, I don't care, and then of course, me being me, I would quickly look at him and like stare at him. And then they'd get nervous and turn away. But it's like, this is an important moment. I don't want to miss it. I don't care if I look silly wearing this thing. It was great.
TaylorMade said, I would definitely love to go to Scotland. My grandfather is Scottish, and it was not legal for my grandparents to marry at the time. Wow.
Wow. Scandalous.
Solrak said, did you have to pay for the Congress thing? And did you meet some of the big people like Mike Johnson?
No, I was brought in by a group that was lobbying for this this cause, and they brought me out to speak. So I didn't have to pay for anything. And the event was free to anybody that wanted to come out and attend it. It's those types of things are always free, apparently. And
yeah, so Sam got to meet some people that came to the event.
Yeah,
right?
some Star Guardians. There were some Star Guards representatives there. So it was pretty cool. But I don't know. We went to my congressman's office, Andy Barr is one of my congressmen, and we went to his office. He wasn't there, obviously. He's too important to be at his own office. But we sat down with one of his aides and talked about that topic. I was only there, like I said, we went over at like 9 a.m. The event was at 12, and then I left. I left to the airport right afterwards, so I wasn't there very long. So I didn't get to meet anybody super cool.
Jackie McKinley said, hi, I'm from the UK. I'm going on my first Cunard Queen Mary cruise this Friday off to Rotterdam. Totally blind, but I'm going to love it, I'm sure.
Awesome.
I'm sure you're going to love it too.
Yes. I did a cruise recently this year, and it was I had a great experience.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. TaylorMade said, I definitely want that device, talking about the sports device you were talking about. Said, I would love to see a hockey game. LOL, pun intended. I've always dreamed of going to one, but it's so fast paced. I don't understand kissing the cup, though. Mad germs.
You should look into, I don't know if you live somewhere where well, it sounds like you do live somewhere where hockey is a big thing, but there's blind hockey. There's accessible hockey. You should look up the website, the Dented Puck, DENTED, Dented Puck. They are an accessible blind hockey team or group. And so if you like it, maybe you can get out there and play some.
And Ty said that I've heard of people listening to the game on a handheld radio during the game. If there was an accessible one, I would do that. So I'm with people and I can hear the announcers. I'm sure nowadays a lot of people probably just put in one earbud and do that too. Because I think a lot of people, that's not uncommon for people to listen to the radio call of the game.
Yeah.
Seems like especially baseball for whatever reason.
Well, I got clips from when I was checking out that device. I can't remember the name. It's some sports related name. But I should put those clips together into a short video and share that with everybody.
Of everyone who says they've already downloaded the iOS 26, is everyone having issues with the MLI and O on the keyboard, or is that just Solrock? He's suggesting you don't download it for a couple weeks to see if they can fix that.
So that like the keys MLI and O, something's wrong with that?
Yeah.
So if your cat's name is Milo, you're in trouble?
You're screwed, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Taylor said, thanks, I might not play, but I might land a date with a player. Talking about the hockey. Farming Blind with Duck said, let's get a VIP cruise for Alaska together for next year. I think there's one coming up in August of this year, maybe for a benefit for NFB.
Yeah. Yeah, there was talk, I need to get back on that. There was talk about arranging some kind of blind VIP cruise in 2026. But I think it was going to be a Caribbean cruise. I'd love to go to Alaska though. I'm with you, Duck. I think that'd be super cool. Literally.
Literally so cool.
Waka, waka, waka.
Deborah was asking what iOS 18 and iOS 26, asking if they're the same but on different devices. iOS 26 will be the newest version of iOS. Mm-hmm. It's just in beta right now. So it will replace iOS 18.
Yeah, they decided to jump numbers. So normally it should be called iOS 19, but they decided to go with the year instead, 26. So it's iOS 26. So it's just the next version of iOS.
Does Android... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it's coming out in September. It's beta now, but it's supposed to be fully launched in September.
Does Android still do suites for the names of theirs?
They do, but they don't like advertise. It's not as big of a marketing thing as it used to be, which I missed that. I loved that, man. Android ice cream and jelly bean and lollipop and key lime pie.
It was ice cream sandwich. Thank you very much.
Ice cream sandwich. Yeah, it was Kit Kat. It wasn't key lime pie. It should have been key lime pie.
Raphael Bird said, I'm a blind tech and I fix computers. Is there any word on the BIOS and putting a screen reader in it? Does anybody know?
Oh gosh, no, that would be awesome. I hate when I have to get into the BIOS and I'm like, this is going to be a nightmare because I'm going to be up with my magnifier on the screen trying to read things. So yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be. Okay, I think I've got everything. Sam, do you want to talk about giveaway?
Yes. So giveaway for June's talk back is we are something we gave away a couple months ago, several months ago, and we're doing it again because it was so popular, and that is the lightsaber cane. And turn it on. Yeah. So changing all the colors. So turn it off here. This one's super cool.
Every time you hold it up like that, it looks like you're getting ready to play a flute.
And you can play music on it. So there's a gentleman up in New Hampshire named Stephen Poirier, I believe is his last name. And he creates and sells these lightsaber light up LED canes. So it is a full size cane. And I forget the name of his website. If anybody knows it, they can put it in the chat. But I've done videos about his canes. And so I have 2 of these canes to give away. So if you would like to enter into this contest, then we have to do the magic word. What should our magic word be?
Jedi.
Jedi. Perfect. Jedi. And it doesn't have to be capitalized. I'm not going to be a stickler for that. I mean, it really should be, but it's fine. It's a proper name. But yes, so put in a comment to this video. Now, you can't do it in the chat. You have to wait until we're all done and then come back into the video. The video will be posted on my YouTube channel in the live section. So come back to this video later and leave a comment with the keyword Jedi and to enter into this contest. And we're going to be giving away 2 of these.
Okay. What countries are eligible?
Okay.
Ricky was really bummed that she couldn't, because she's Canadian and she couldn't do the last one.
Okay. Yes, we will. Just for shipping, we will do US and Canada. We'll include Canada. These are kind of going to be kind of big shipping. So it'll be
shipping
crazy
can
expensive.
be killer. There was one time that Sam did a giveaway and didn't realize, and the shipping was like $80 or something. It was like,
no, it was like they wanted like $300, and I was like, oof.
Yeah, it was just, it was crazy.
Yeah. So yes, if you are in the US or Canada, you can enter into the contest, and best of luck. May the odds ever be in your favor. And we will box this up and send it out. So we will announce the winners in the next next month's talkback, July talkback.
Yes, and we will try really hard to do it next month.
Yeah, earlier than later. We're super late on this one.
Brian is asking, is it Bluetooth?
No, so it is a simple design. This is actually just a lightsaber, like the kind you can buy down at Disney. If you go to the Jedi area, whatever the Star Wars area of Disney, you can buy these lightsaber toys. It's similar to that, only this isn't a toy necessarily. It's much higher quality. It's one of those lightsaber replicas, and then Steven turns it into a cane. So it has a button on here. It can do the different sound effects. Some of them can play music. Most of them can change colors. Like this one changes colors. The LED cane will light up different colors. It does impact sounds. So like when you hit it, it'll make the impact sound. So it's got lots of cool little features. And usually they're rechargeable by USB somehow.
So again, if you want to be entered into the contest to win the cane, when this video wraps up, which is going to be very shortly, you'll have to wait, like, what is it, Sam? Do you think like 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty quick. So
pretty quick. Like it just, I don't know what all it has to do, but it takes a few minutes. And then instead of it being the actual live stream, it'll be the recorded video of the live stream. It will show up under lives on the Blind Life on YouTube. So go to that video, and in the comments section, you can say whatever you want, but make sure that it has the word Jedi, Jedi, in the comment, because it has to have the word Jedi, because then Sam will use like a randomizer and tell it to search for that word, and then it will randomly choose 2 winners out of the comments.
Yeah, because some people don't care about it. They don't care about the contest. So this is a way for us to filter that out.
Yeah. Well, or they don't live in the countries that are eligible.
Right. Yeah.
Cosman is asking, when do you all do the live videos usually? What day of the week? And I'll tell you, we are not very good about keeping it regular. Now, Sam does put messages. He always puts it in the community. I hope you always put it in the community.
Yes.
Things here. He also puts it on his Instagram.
Twitter, usually.
Twitter. Do you do it on Facebook?
Yeah, I usually do a Facebook post as well.
Yeah. So he
Try
you know, it's usually only a couple of days ahead of time that he puts it on there. We're just really bad for like cutting out the time to do it and like planning ahead. We really should be better. We should put it on our calendars and be better about it. But
We're gonna add that to your list of
my
admin
list
things.
is getting way too long.
Your
But
honeydew
yeah,
list.
I mean, that's not, it shouldn't be that hard. We should just put it on the calendar. Part of it on the other thing is though, is we do try to like change it up some. So because, especially like the times, because Sam has a very international viewership. And so every time doesn't work for every person. So he does try to mix it up. Usually we don't do it on a weekday. We usually do it on a weekend. The bulk of the time it's either on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, like the person from the UK. What is like midnight there right now, or maybe even after.
It's late there. I think
So,
aren't they 5 hours ahead of us?
5 hours usually, about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ricky said they got an email about it. So that was probably from the YouTube community post.
Yeah. I shared it on the community post, but then I was smart this time because I'm learning. I shared it to channel members too. So channel members, if I share it to only channel members, they get an email. So I did that on purpose.
Yeah, and I think we have some new people in here too. So we should also mention you can become a channel member. Sam tries to keep the price very low. I think the lowest you're allowed to put it is 99 cents. And
Yep.
so his lowest channel membership is 99 cents. And I think the biggest perk of that is is it the first Saturday, Sam, of every month?
We try to do it the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah, so he tries on the first Saturday of every month. They do a members call, and do you still use Zoom?
Yep, Zoom call.
Yeah, they do a members only Zoom call that they just hop on, and I think it's supposed to be an hour. It's usually like 2 hours, honestly. And every time Sam's like, I just didn't want to go. Like, I think the people that do the Zoom calls really love the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And if you're shy like me, you don't have to turn your camera on. You can just talk. Or you can just listen if you don't even want to talk. But you guys talk about all kinds of stuff, right? Like you don't usually have an agenda or anything. You guys just chat, right?
No, honestly, it's very similar to these live streams. We just whatever comes up, we talk about it. But the beauty of it is everybody's on there, so everybody can just talk.
Yeah, Ricky just said, I love the Zoom calls. I really look forward to them every month.
Yeah, Ricky's on there, Duck's on there, Ty's on there, Harpreet has been on there before. So huge thank you to all the channel members that join those calls.
Yeah, Cosman, for the member thing on YouTube. Oh, look at that. Brian Cooper just joined as a member.
Hey, welcome, Brian. Thank you.
So Brian, since you just did it, explain how you become a member. What did you do? Because I can never remember.
He probably clicked right underneath the video. There's a join button. It's right near where the subscribe button would be. It should be just underneath and just to the right, I believe, of the video. You can click that. You can also click on the join button on my YouTube channel, or you can go to youtube.com/theblindlife/join, and that will give you instructions on how to become a member.
Yeah.
There's also a link in my video descriptions. Sorry.
That's okay. One more question here. Just one person's opinion is their name. Said that we're wanting to know if you've done a demo on the Script Talk product and service yet, which I know you have, but it's been a long time, right?
It's been a long time. I've done a couple videos on Script Talk. The original, and then when they came out with the mobile app, I did another follow-up video on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wonder if you should do another one because
I should.
It's probably updated and stuff.
Because it's easily been like 8 years since I did that.
Ty just made me laugh because he said, usually the members only calls start with all of us talking about the weather in our area and then whatever we want to talk about after that.
It's the icebreaker. This month in June's, it was talking about cicadas and how bad they are here in Kentucky.
Cosmin, what do you mean if you wanted to do it? How would you go about doing that? Like becoming a member or joining the Zoom? If you mean becoming a member, you click on that join button and do it. If you're talking about the Zoom thing, as a member, you get a Zoom link sent to you via email, right, Sam?
Yes, I post it on the community page, which is on my YouTube channel. There's different pages on my channel, and one of them is community. And I post it there, but I set it to where only members can see it. And when I do that, the members also get an email sent to them, usually. But if you're ever curious, you can just go to that community page and it should be the top post. And if you're a member, you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to see the Zoom link, and you'll be able to join that way.
Okay, I'm sorry. So he just said, yeah, I understand the join thing, but let's say I have my own YouTube channel. How do I go about adding the join button in there or having people become members of my channel? I don't remember how
Oh,
you set that up.
you have to reach a certain size. It's either what's it called? Subscribers, or it's number of views. I forget what the metric is. But once you do, then you're eligible to do memberships on your page. I would go into your analytics, your YouTube analytics, your Creator Studio, and go to analytics. Go to earn is the category. It's on the left side, and it'll say earn and have a little dollar symbol. And in there, that's where the membership information is. And so if you are eligible to do that, it will be in there, and it'll tell you how to set it up and get it going and everything. There's also videos. I'm sure people have YouTube videos on how to do it. So
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, I know that Sam loves the monthly Zoom
yeah,
things.
we have a good time.
Yeah. You every time you're always like, it was a good talk or good conversation or whatever. I'm like, you say that literally every single month.
Yep. It's good. It's good times. People say it's like a support group.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it really is. And
Mhm.
luckily, even though it's growing, it seems like the Zoom thing is still manageable.
Yeah, I wish we would have more members join. If you're a member out there, come join us. Join the call. We do it 1:00 Eastern on the first Saturday of every month. Unless it's like a holiday or something. But and anybody that's members can join.
Stacy V just said that she's sad she'll be missing next month's call, but we'll be on vacation, so that's always fun. Which,
Okay.
yeah, vacation's better than a call, Stacy.
You can still join from your vacation. I'm just saying. We see where your priorities are, Stacey. No, I'm just teasing.
Hasn't the farmer joined from the field before?
Yeah, Duck joins he's out there with the cows and he's on his phone. So no excuses. Come on.
You can get on a Zoom call from the beach.
Yeah, tell us how the weather is out there in Cancun or wherever you're going.
Okay. Sorry, they're discussing the requirements to be able to do it. Joker was just saying you have to have about a certain number of subscribers, public watch hours, post 3 videos in 90 days constantly, and some shorts. If you open the YouTube Studio app, there's a tab with all the info.
Yeah.
And all the members are now popping up saying how much they enjoy the calls.
Oh,
Alex
good.
Trotter said those calls are a terrific resource. And Ricky said we learn a lot in the Zoom chats. So it's nice too, because it's, with these, the live streams are great. And I think people enjoy them, but it's me having to try to monitor the chat and keep up with not only what Sam's saying, but also pulling comments out of the chat. And I am not as great with the text, so sometimes I don't understand what the question is in the chat. So, yeah, so it's nice because when the Zoom calls, people can just ask verbally their questions, and Sam, it's directly through Sam. It's not being filtered through me, which is, subpar.
Oh, come on. You do a great job.
Well, I try. Brian said he'll bring popcorn.
Yes, that's what we need.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to wrap this up, aren't we?
I think so. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And congratulations to the 2 winners from earlier, and best of luck to everybody else that wants to enter in to win the Jedi sticks, the canes. I say that because it drives me crazy when people say that.
Yeah. So one more time, we're going to end this. Once we end this, give it just a few minutes for the video to load. And once the video loads, go to the comment section of that video, put a note in there, and that note should include the word Jedi, J-E-D-I.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, and you have till the next talk back, so you've got time to do it if you want, but that'll be good. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to try something here. I'm smooth here, aren't I? Okay, it's not going to work. Never mind. We're just leaving. Someday I'll be a professional.
Yeah, you're real smooth, Sam.
All right. Bye, everybody.